Everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how you can apply a sepia matrix filter to your live camera preview as well as image capture in Flutter Android application. So let's get started. Now before I start the video, I want to tell you that all the code, camera related code which you will see, everything has been done via native code, that is Kotlin code for Android. I'm not using any third-party libraries because making this filter works with the existing camera third-party libraries is very difficult, at least for me. That's why I'm not using it. Applying those filters to native code is very simple. It's only 1 to 2 lines of code. That's why I'm using CameraX, which is the recommended option for native Android development with camera inside our Flutter application as well. So I'll show you the output in a bit. I think it is still building. In the meantime, what we can do is I'll just show you guys the code. So as usual, you need to create a Flutter application. Now make sure you use at least Flutter 3.32.0 or higher version, because there are some Gradle stuff which so you will face Gradle issues if you use lower version of Flutter. That's all I can say, because the media 3 effect through which we are applying this sepia matrix filter requires specific version of Gradle, and I think Flutter 3.32 already has that appropriate Gradle version, so you don't have to worry about it. So if you have a higher version, that's also fine, but don't use any lower version. So let's go. So here I have created our Flutter application. Again, I'll just close everything. So first you just go to main.dart, and here we have added some imports. Now this my camera view is a dart file which I have created, so make sure you use your own import. Like, you can't add flut app over here because that is the name of my project. You will have to add your own project name. Okay, and here you can see we have this material import as well as services import, so make sure, and dart io import as well. Okay, so my output is ready. I'll quickly show you guys the output. I'm using Android Studio to show you guys the output because Android Studio has this cool feature of mirroring your device. That's why okay, I'm mirroring my device, so the output will be little bit laggy. Just bear with me over here. So first I'll just give the camera permission, and here you can see this. Okay, it is still catching up. So here you can see this is the sepia matrix which I was talking about. So yeah, this is how it looks like. Again, you can play around with this value as well, which I will show you shortly. But yeah, this is how it is, kind of like a black and white. So if you see over here, let me just put down my device. These are the values for sepia matrix. Again, I'll come back to this. You can play around with these values as well. So yeah, again, I'll just bring back my device and I'll just capture one photo. I'll click on take photo. Okay, and here you can okay, it's still catching up. So the button also which you see is from native code. It is not a Flutter app button. And here you can see we are displaying the captured image. Now the image, this is a Flutter image widget. So yeah, that's the only Flutter thing which I'm using. So let's get back to the code. So first, like I said, this is our main.dart file. I have added the required imports. Now the rest of this code is exactly same like what we get inside our like default Flutter application, the default boilerplate code which we get. So I have not changed anything. The only change which I have made is this. Here is our my homepage widget which I have refactored. Okay, so I'm not taking anything inside the constructor. It is a stateful widget. Here also for permission, for getting the camera permission, also I have written native code, but if you want you can use third-party library as well. So here I'm just now also this tutorial is only for Android, so I don't really care about other platforms. So that's why if it is Android, then I'm making this as false by default. For all platforms I'm making this as true. Then here I have defined a method channel which is used for checking on the native side whether we have the required camera permission or not. Then here we are inside the init state. We just check if platform is Android, then we just get the camera permission. So here you can see in this method we just invoke a method called get camera permission, and if the result is true we just change this value to is permission granted, else we keep it as false. Now if you see inside build method, if camera permission is true then only display our camera view, otherwise just display a text message saying that give camera permission. Okay, now this my camera view comes from this my camera view.dart file. So here we have all these imports, and here we have the stateful widget as well. Here we define a method channel called camera view. Here we have this image URL. Okay, and here I have just created this creation params. This is basically used to send some data from Flutter side to a native side, but we are not really sending any thing, so I have just created it as empty. Now if platform is Android, then we are using this code, which I'll come back in a bit. Else for all other platform, I'm just displaying a placeholder, because we are not really bothered about other platforms for now, in this tutorial at least. Then here we have this image URL not equal to empty. Then here is our center widget. Okay, if we get the image, once the image has been captured, we set this image URL, right? So if it is not equal to empty, then we just display that image using this image.file thing. Else we display our Android view, which will actually display the camera. So here we pass the camera view. So this is important, same name has to be used on native Android side as well. Okay, here is our standard message codec, and once the view has been created, this method will get called on platform view created. So inside on platform view created, we just do this set method callback handler. So this handle callback method will get called, and here is our case send from native. Again, same name needs to be used from native Android side while sending the image URL of the captured image back to Flutter side. So don't mess with these values. So once we get the value, we just assign it to this variable, and once we have it, we just change the state of our image URL. Okay, so if image URL is not equal to empty, then we just display this particular thing. Now coming back to the native Android part, first go to Android folder, go to app, go to build.gradle. Here you will have to add this dependency block. So here you need to add Android X camera core, Android X camera 2, Android X camera lifecycle, Android X camera view, then Android X media 3 effect, which is still in alpha at the time of me recording, but do check the documentation. If it does become stable, make sure you use the stable version. Then we have this Android X media 3 effect and Android X constraint layout. So we will be using constraint layout to display our camera as well as our button. Then just go to src main Android manifest.xml. Here we add this uses feature of Android hardware camera. Here the uses permission of camera, and here we have another uses permission of write external storage as well. Okay, so this is done. Then go to kotlin, and here we have this main activity.kt. So by default you will only see this line of code, but we have to add a lot of things over here. So if you are using getting camera permission from third-party library, then you don't require most of the code. Okay, so firstly, don't copy my package name. Keep the package name whatever you are using by default. These are the imports which you need to add. We have used this variable for getting the camera permission. Here I have created a list just to check whether we have the required camera permission or not. So here we are assigning camera, and for Android version less than equal to p, we also require the write external storage permission. Here I am using method channel result for sending back whether we have the camera permission or not. Here we override this on request permission result. If request code is equal to request code permission, and if all permissions are granted, then we just do method result dot success as true, else we do method result dot success as false. Then here we have another method, all permissions granted. So we just check whether the permissions was granted or not. Then we override configure Flutter engine over here. So we just do Flutter engine dot platforms view controller dot registry, and here we initialize our camera view. So this is the code which you would require, okay, irrespective of whether you are using third party camera permission library or not. So this is very important. So you need to override this method and write this particular bit of code, and don't forget to close the bracket over here as well. Now this code is for getting the camera permission, like I said. So once this method is called, this gets called, and this will automatically call this once the permission has been granted. Okay, so yeah, that's it. Inside main activity, if you see, we are also referencing this particular file called my camera view factory. So we need to create a kotlin file called my camera view factory. Now this is boilerplate code which you have to write every time you want to embed a native view inside your Android application. Firstly, again, don't copy my package name. You should use the same package name which you see inside your main activity over here. So we make sure you use that. These are all the imports which you have to use, and you can just copy paste this code. That is, again, like I said, this is boilerplate code. don't worry too much about it. So yeah, I'll show you this part as well. So yeah, feel free to pause the video and copy the code. Now the important part is here you can see we are initializing another file called my camera view. So we'll have to go to this, create this another file called mycameraview.kt. so please create this file. Now here we have this, again make sure you use your own package name. Now there are a lot of imports, so feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports. Okay, now here at the very start we are using this @unstable annotation because this Sepia matrix at the time of me recording is still unstable. That's why we have to use this annotation, but hopefully by the time you guys watch it, it does become stable. If it doesn't, then you still have to use this @unstable annotation. Okay, then here we have this my camera view. Here we initialize our image capture. This is our process camera provider. Here is our constraint layout. Here is our preview view, initializing everything, and here is our button. This is the method channel, so I'm using the same name which we define it on the Dart side. Here is our camera executor service. This is just a variable for getting the file name. Then inside the init we first set the layout params, assign it to our constraint layout. We set the constraint set as well. We do constraint set dot clone, passing our constraint layout. Then we assign an ID to our viewfinder, add it to our constraint layout. Viewfinder is basically the camera thing which you see, entire camera thing, and we constrain it to all sides of the screen, but for the bottom we just apply a 200 margin so that our button is visible. Then here we have another button, sorry, not another button, the take photo button. So we set the text, background color, text color, we constrain it to the bottom of the screen, and we just do constraint set dot apply constraint layout. We do button dot set on click listener, pass our take photo method to it, and here we just call setup camera as well. So if you see over here, private fun setup camera, so we just call start camera, camera executor, take photo method as well, and here we image capture is not equal to null. Here we initialize our simple date format. Then we just do content values dot apply, passing our display name, mime type, and if version greater than Android P, we set the relative path as well. Then here we have this image capture dot output file options, passing our builder to it. Then we just do image capture dot take picture, passing our output options. Then context compat dot get man executor. Then here we override this particular method, so this gets called once our image is saved. And here you can see we invoke the send from native callback to send the actual URI of the image back to Flutter side so that it can display the image. Then we just shut down our executor as well as unbind our camera provider, and here you can see this is the get path from URI method, which helps us to get the image URI back from the captured photo. Then here we override the get view, returning our constraint layout. Here we dispose the function. Then we just do camera executor dot shutdown. Here is our start camera as well, for which we set the aspect ratio strategy, the resolution selector as well. And then we do process camera provider dot get instance, passing our context. Then we do camera provider future dot get, assigning my camera provider camera provider to our camera provider. Then here we initialize our preview as well. Here we initialize our image capture part. We get hold of our default back camera. Then we just do use case group dot builder, add our preview use case as well as image capture use case. Here we initialize our media 3 effect. Now this is the Sepia matrix. Now from where did I get this number? I just copied it from the documentation. You can play around with these values, or even ask ChatGPT or some other AI tool to play around with this value for you. Okay, that is the important part. And here we just add our Sepia matrix to our RGB matrix. Then we add our media 3 effect to our use case group builder. Then we unbind our camera, we bind it to the life cycle, and yeah, that's it. So yeah, that's all there is to it. Again, I'll simply scroll through this file. Feel free to pause the video and copy the code. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully I have not forgot anything, but if you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye.